I guess you can hear me now. I should probably add myself to the screen. Sorry about that, because yeah, this is a new streaming software I'm trying out, so sorry about that. I need to keep myself on screen as well. Okay, this is probably fine. I can just um hmm, it's not taking up too much space, so I'll just leave it there. Pretty much what I've been saying is I like everything has looked like it has bottomed, right? The stock market pretty much very, very close to all-time highs. Both of them off like less than 10% from their highs, right? So, and many, many macro analysts are still pretty bearish, the vast majority of them. What they're doing is they're looking at earning ratios versus the price stock, which is ridiculous to do. This is um, the consequence of the fiat money system, where assets will continue to go higher. And just look at crypto. I mean, many of these cryptos don't earn any money at all, yet they outperform the stock market every time. The Nasdaq has bottomed, looks very bullish. Oversold though on the weekly, but it can go on for quite a while until we start seeing divergences. As in the past, it has done pretty much the same. This is a positive retest here. This is called a sign of strength. Let's share this tab quickly. This is the Wyckoff accumulation. You can see the sign of strength here. It retests these previous breakouts. And when it does confirm, you continue into phase E. Now, if that's not that, that's fine. So, Bitcoin, the only concern that I do have is the CME gap. Yeah, you can see there's still a gap down here at 20K. There's lots of people waiting for this area here. So I don't know if it would get hit, right? But there is that still that risk there. These caps have like a 90% chance to get filled. There is still a massive I'm striking a blank. This is called a value gap. So a value gap is simply the area between the two candles. You can the previous candle, the candle before and the candle after shows you a value gap. So there hasn't been any trading in this area. So this is a fair value gap. The market tends to fill this area. Now we've already started to fill it. The RSI is pretty much slap bang in the middle, but is trending downwards. Let's look at the stochastic RSI. Momentum is still to the downside. Let's go to the daily quickly. Not really oversold on the daily, really. Did we have divergences? No divergences. What? 40.92, 40.97. So there is a bullish divergence forming here on the daily, although it's not confirmed, right? If it needs to break above 50 for it to be confirmed, but that is at least a little bit of positive news there. The RSI is getting pretty low here, so I won't be surprised if it reverses, right? I mean, we're not going to cover ETH. Another interesting chart is, of course, the Bitcoin dominance. This is very valid for our coins because the altcoins perform well when this goes down. This is bearish for us, though, as Bitcoin has shown strength. We have broken out. This was the breakout candle. This is the retest candle, and this is the weekly chart. So it is finding support on this breakout level. There is a measured move. But the measured move is It's kind of weird because you didn't have this a very clear W because the low was back here. And so it's really not fair for me to take all of this range as a breakout level. So it's a little bit hard to say where this might be going, right? We can do a Fibonacci extension to see where we might be getting some resistance, at least at the 60, right? So definitely there could be a lot of upside. Now, what could happen here is that Bitcoin might outperform or even under or dump, pump or dump, both of these. Just if Bitcoin moves fast, the altcoins tend to suffer either way. In December of 2020, I think, Bitcoin started its massive run and then just absolutely left the altcoins behind. Now they do suffer versus their Bitcoin value, but their USD value tends to stay the same in the case of a massive pump to the upside. Now we're not really farming Bitcoin anymore, as at this point I'm currently farming Pulse, and that just means I'm trading my altcoins as I make profits back into Pulse. Jaggy says, can't wait for the bull. The bear market has been the longest compared to the previous cycles. That's actually an interesting. Let's see if I have that saved. So, do you remember a few months back I did the time analysis for you guys on Bitcoin? I'm probably going to have to quickly draw it out because that is quite an interesting point. Are we in fact moving slower than we have in the past? So from we actually need the halvening cycles. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling up a time analysis, the past halvening dates. So you can see they're plotted on the chart when the halvenings happen. And if you do a fib retracement from the halvening to the next halvening, you can see we tend to bottom out on the 61.8 down here, right? Now these have the projected views. What we should do is just see when the next Bitcoin halvening is. Countdown. April 15th, 2024 is the current projection. Let's just quickly plot that on the chart. April of 2024. And we will see if this cycle is playing out as previous cycles. May, April 15th. There we go. We can remove this analysis. So we have a new plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it from the halvening to the next halvening. Let's just make sure that it's lined up perfectly. We can see where we bottomed. No, we actually do need this because so we can compare the two with each other. I'm just going to remove the extensions. Okay, so you can see previously we've bottomed out at the 61.8. That's the green line over here. This halvening cycle, we bottomed out around the 61.8, a little bit later than the previous cycle. We found a top at the Bitcoin, or this was when they finally started cutting rates up here. They paused the rates here, right? So we see at the 78.6 level, which is this line we are currently at, they're pausing rates. I mean, guys, these things are repeating like not exactly, but very, very close to these timings, right? We then have the final wash out a few weeks. That was the halvening there, actually. So the 786, you start going down. You find your bottom somewhere here. Maybe this is we come down to fill that gap at 20K. Somewhere here, right? Doesn't have to happen. They can keep the rates. Now, this is a little bit of copium, right? And then you're halvening, right? Your halvening is here. And this is when you actually start getting out of the accumulation zone. So by April 24, we should be getting out of here anyway. So, I mean, it looks the same. The timing is pretty much the same as the last time. It just feels this way because you're probably participating in this one and not on the sidelines. Yeah, so the timing still looks fine. Let's go to Pulse. This is the shorter time frames. Now, I like the RSI on these time frames because the RSI is low. We had bullish divergences. We can see price going lower, yet down here, the RSI was rising. I should probably make this white for you guys so you can see it. It's going to take a while for me to figure this out, but you should be seeing what I'm seeing here. What I said was price was going lower. You can see the green lines going lower, or yeah, the green lines making lower lows. And the RSI is making higher highs. This is on the 8-hour. Was pretty nice and oversold, so you would expect a should I say a dead cat bounce? We have a little bit of a problem here, right? Higher highs on the RSI, lower highs on price action. This is called hidden bearish divergence, but this could be easily invalidated. We just need to get above the literally at the sacrifice level for this to be invalidated. It's already moving very, very fast to the upside on the hourly. Let's quickly look at the 12 hourly. Never really got oversold. No divergences on the RSI. But I mean, if we go down to the 4 hourly, this showed a top out on the 4 hourly. I think it was here. Yeah. Okay, let's not, I'm confused. The daily never is, I mean, look at the RSI up here. This is kind of not nice. It's at 43. Never been oversold. And this is the only information we have. And it never got oversold. It's not even close to being oversold, which is a little bit concerning. We should probably, no, I've thought about this, but I don't think looking at the version 1 chart of Hex to see if we had oversold on day 33. I'm just doing it on the side here quickly. So this is V1. Let's see if we can pull up the RSI here to see if Hex actually got oversold on its daily in the beginning. So we can compare it what is happening today. Yeah, I mean, look how oversold it got here, down here. And apparently it bottomed out on day 33 where we are currently at, right? And it was low, like it was really, really oversold. And you've got bullish divergences here because the RSI was at 18.75 and this next low was at 19. So you had bullish divergences down here in oversold areas. So this could spell a lot more pain for us, which is unfortunate because hopefully I'm wrong. Another, what do you think? Could you clarify that question for me? So that is WPLS. I mean, all of the pulse chain charts look quite um, the same. Switch to this one. They all look the same. Some of them took a little bit more punishment, not oversold at all. This is PLSX. Let's look at the ratio between pulse and PLSX. If you want to provide a liquidity position, it's best to enter at the middle of the range, but this can easily go higher and lower, right? It's risky. You're responsible for making your own decisions. So pulse X is 40% of a pulse. Not much to see there. Pulse chain still more powerful than pulse X, but the sacrifice was much larger, right? This is hex on pulse chain. Currently sitting at 1.34 cents. Looks a lot the same, right? Not oversold. The 12 hourly wasn't oversold. No bearish divergences. Pretty sure we'll see bullish divergences on, yes, on the RSI over here. This is just Hart's law. Obviously, most of these are bonded to each other, so they'll move up. Jaxie said, could PLSX and PLS never get oversold due to the buy and burn? Because as the price drops, more gets bought out and burned. The buy and burn, let's just see it as another market participant, right? Let's pull up PLS burn because it acts exactly the same as a buyer, right? Just buys and burns. I mean, so it's going to be buying pressure. And in fact, I would probably say it will have a continuous splash upwards pressure on the RSI. So that's exactly what you're saying, actually. It could be, but I mean, all we have to look at is the RSI. So percentage burned. I mean, it's hardly even 1% of supply that's been burned, right? So imagine that's one market participant that is trying to accumulate 1% of the supply, which is quite a lot, right? I mean, this is a tenth of 1%. So, yeah, he's just another market participant, and I don't think he would really have too much of an influence. So, okay. X versus Pulse X on the 8-hour chart, bullish divergences. This is already hidden bearish divergence because the RSI is higher. I mean, they look all the same, right? Let's look at the incentive token. Gave targets on Twitter. All of them have been hit. We only came down slightly below this is the Wyckoff check, which was at 11 cents. It's a good buy so far. Richard said on June 3rd, you might consider today Pulsechain's first day, maybe July 4th. Oh, because the bridge opened on that. That's actually a good point because why say something like that? Hey, there's no reason to say June the 3rd would be lower. Let's see where I'll mark that on the chart actually. Still a ways away, so we'll keep that on the chart. That's an interesting point. Pulse buy and burn accelerate. I see a lot of people talking about this. So what happened here is that Richard Hart created the first 4,000 validators, and said in so many words that those validators aren't going to be receiving any rewards. They're burning their rewards. And when they unstake, they might also burn their supply. So those are the validators, the original validators that initially was there to support the network, right? But they are now going offline. I think they're all offline, and all of their supply was then burned, right? So 4,000 times 32 million pulse. And that's why we have this crazy buy. It's not going to go on forever. It's just those going off of validator rotation. Eventually, Pulse X will outperform. So yeah, it's a little bit imbalanced at the moment. The burning is very high, but it's not going to be like that forever. As when those validators are offline, it's a one-time burn. But either way, it's still good. Let's pull up the RSI here. Incentive token not oversold, right? On the daily. I mean, maybe we can rally up and set a oversold area here and then start creating a base. I mean, something like this. Maybe we come up right into the short reload zone and then come down to retest these. And if you zoom out, this will then be a massive W on the weekly, right? And that would be an incredible base for the continued bull run, right? Now, I'm selling incentive token as I get them. I actually didn't sell my incentive token today because if you look at the ratios between the incentive pair and PulseX, because I'm selling it into PulseX, and we'll look at incentive versus Pulse as well. Now, if we switch the price to look at PLS, we can see at the highs, we got about 700,000 Pulse X per one incentive token. Down here, which is pretty much where you should be swapping. Now, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible. The area down here is where a granny investor would be swapping her Pulse X for incentive token, because the incentive token has been being sold off much more than the Pulse X or Pulse token. Now, the incentive tokens, yield farming tokens, tend to perform just massive pump and then down forever. But this is a Richard Hart coin, and I get a lot of people are excited about it. So I'm really tempted to just maybe hold on to my Pulse X here. But this ratio can go a lot lower. As we could see, the RSI is not oversold at all. Like I would like to be selling my incentive token up here, right? And I've been selling it down all the way. But down here, this is where value is at for Pulse X, or for the incentive token versus Pulse X. Now, the incentive token versus Pulse looks quite a lot, it looks the same. Let's just swap the ratio over there. Yeah, a little bit more undervalued, meaning you, if you wanted some incentive token for some reason, maybe this is actually where you should be buying some incentive token for Pulse X. Now, we're not oversold at all. This can continue to bleed out. But you know how the grand investor works. She just nibbles down very small percentage of her overall portfolio, never exceeding more than 5%. You know. But I struggle to sell my incentive token here. So I should maybe hold on to it a little bit, knowing that it can go much lower. How well do you think Pulse X may outperform Pulse? Could getting more Pulse X now and eventually swapping some of it for PLS potentially be a good idea? That's called ratio trading, right? And you should be looking at this pair over here, the pulse forward slash pulse X. And we're going to switch to the pulse X. So you see the ratio, right? This is the area where you should be interested down here, where you should be swapping your pulse for pulse X. We're a little bit in no man's land, and this is actually called the nosebleed section. You're not allowed, but it's a very valid question, because this is where I would be interested to swap my pulse for pulse X, right? And maybe sell half on a double. So let's say you get some pulse X at 0.33. Your first sell order would be at 0.66, right? So here you would be selling that position, half of that position back into pulse, and you've doubled your pulse back, right? Now, trading is exceptionally dangerous if you don't know risk management. Risk management is a fancy way of saying never risk more than 5% on any which trade, etc., right? And the grand investor, she just sits on her position because she's patient, right? And she has her plan set out before the time, and she won't, even if the coin goes to zero, she won't mind because she's only put a little bit in it, right? And some people will say, well, 5% is so little. You're actually compounding it, because Pulse X is a very volatile asset that can do 1,000x this cycle, right? So you're profiting into profits. That's probably not the right way to say it, but the gains get pretty insane. So yeah, that's actually the way I like to trade. But here, no. This might be an area where you would be interested in maybe setting in an LP position. But I would be swapping some Pulse for Pulse X down here and selling my Pulse X. I'd be buying Pulse X down here with Pulse, and I'll be selling Pulse X up here for Pulse, etc. It might get a little bit confusing, but over time you will get what I'm saying. Next is, this is the EHEX chart on Pulsechain. I'm just going to swap so we can look at the ratios. Lots of people want this to die, right? For some stupid reason. And we have seen the consequences. I mean, people are going to, although I'm on the side of EX should survive, many of the EX guys are saying now that you have wrecked prices because you flooded EX, which is not true at all. I saw the top in the Pulsechain coming, tweeted it out, and incentive token. That was probably one of my highest engaging tweets ever, was the Pulse X call. People always look for narrative after the fact. Yeah, so this is the ratio. EX is 60% the value of PHEX, and I expect it to, over time, drift around this area, right? The, what do they call this? Parity. Put this on a large time frame. It looks bad here. Let's look at the RSI. Maybe this could get interesting. So the EX ratio is by far the most oversold. So what that just tells us is that EX is probably the best deal in the whole of the ecosystem, because EX is oversold. If we go to our main watch list, this is the hex chart on Ethereum, of course. 2 million liquidity, volume pretty low. Daily chart, very oversold. Hey, did we have bullish divergences? 25.94, 25.67. So this was lower. So no bullish divergences on the daily. Let's look at the 3-day. Never been this oversold on the 3-day in all of the bear market. Take a look at the weekly. 33.93, 33.16. So we have confirmed bullish divergence still on EHEX. On EHEX, price is going lower, yet the RSI is still higher. Very small amounts, but it's still valid. Funny. Let's look at the on-balance volume to see if street people are still interested here. Yeah, this is probably the most powerful indicator, right? Violently still in an uptrend. Now, this is simply the difference between buying and selling volume, right? So the buying still outweighs this, right? So someone, yeah, is buying here. Price going lower, yet and there's two bullish divergences here from these lows as well, all the way up here. So that's very, very strong bullish on balance volume divergence. So my point was the EHEX and PHEX ratio is the most oversold of all of the assets, although it's still just at 30. The EHEX on its daily chart is incredibly oversold and spending a lot of time down here. That's why I say EX, just technically speaking, just going off the charts, it is the most cheapest asset currently on Pulsechain. Hedron on Pulsechain, it is about double the price of Ethereum or Hedron on EHEX or eHedron. We can probably take a look at that. Two Hedron pairs. Hedron. So Hedron versus Hedron from Ethereum. And we're just quickly going to switch over to the ratio. No confusion. Okay, glad I get it. No problem, man. This is the ratio between the two Hedrons. Let's just use a shorter time frame. This is sitting at the exact same ratio as the hex ratio. That is very, very interesting. The exact same. Oh, this is the V2 chart. It doesn't matter. Huh. 0.6. Let's look at the hex ratio again quickly. Now, why don't we hear people saying Hedron on Ethereum is Hedron on Ethereum is dead? What do you think BankX will do with the Godwell sack? Any guess? But people are scared because of it all. Dollar Cost Crypto on his show said that the dude has said that he will do a 30-day stake with it. So he's earning about 55K every month if he does that running stakes, 30-day stake, 30-day stake, 30-day stake, and just harvesting the rewards. I mean, that's a huge, huge salary. I mean, how many people earn 60K in the US? That's like, dude, that's like 720K a year. That's a lot. It's like more than a living wage. And you can build an incredible business on that amount of money. So it'd be foolish. It'd be foolish to dump down the price. But if he was smart and if he wanted to dump and he was smart, he would bridge it over to, and Sami talked about this. Richard alluded to this in a tweet recently. But pretty much if he were to bridge over his hex to here, and this is the version 1 chart, there's about 1 million liquidity in this one, but I should actually just use the V2 pair because, yeah, you can see 3.4 million liquidity, whereas there's only 2 million liquidity on the Ethereum side. So he can actually just port it over here onto Pulsechain and sell it and get more out of his position. But if he sells it on the market now, I mean, he's probably not going to get a million, and it's worth 8. So he needs to hold on to it and sell into pumps. Now, that means he needs to trade. So is he a good trader? I don't know. I'm not concerned, frankly. I have my stakes out anyway. I'm not staking anymore until the issue resolves itself. I actually got rid of all my liquid hex when this argument started happening. I think it's immature, and I'm not going to partake in stupid fundamental arguments and debates because, frankly, I don't even believe in fundamentals. I just look at the charts, right? And that actually keeps me sane because if I maybe dabbled a little bit in the debate, but I just removed myself from that. Anyway, I understand your concerns. There are other coins in the ecosystem that we can look at. And I'm just getting as much Pulse X currently as I have because I sacrificed a little bit less for Pulse X, and I want both of those bags to be equal. But I still love EX and I still love X. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm a bag holder, right? I'm a staker, a very long-term staker. Okay, so I mean we've covered quite a lot. Are there any other altcoins you guys want me to take a look at? I've got a lot of shitcoins here, so we can go through them. We've looked at we've talked about Hedron a little bit. I like Hedron. Staking my Hedron on the Pulse X side, and yeah, minting and staking it on Pulse X side. Actually bought a little bit of Hedron. Kick. As you guys know, this is the coin that I've created. If we put on the log chart, it looks beautiful, right? I have staking that's going to be activated in 2 days' time. So I've already staked my kick. Just for transparency reasons, the developer wallet that created this pair created the coins, put it in with 5 million Pulse chain for liquidity. 50% of the supply was locked into the liquidity pool. The other 50% is locked in the trust swap contract. So the developer wallet does not have access to that. And you can check all of this on the @Kick Pulsechain. And I'll share this in the chat quickly. All of this info is there. You can check it out here. 50% of the supply was locked into the liquidity pool, and you can see that it's locked up in here. Share this tab over here. This liquidity pool is locked. 50% of the supply is locked in here. 45% of the rest of the supply, you can see 45% is locked in here in this contract. So it cannot be sold. And I accidentally closed my tab, so sorry about that. And then 2.5% is up for staking in the 18th of June, so in 2 days' time. So make sure you do stake your, let me just share this tab instead. You can Now I need to connect my wallet to see the. Either way, if you click on the staking, you will see it, and if you connect your wallet, you will see the staking over here. Now, but I've already staked mine. Uh, yeah. Okay. So that is the rest of the supply, and then 2.5 was left in the dev wallet, but got rid of it here, somewhere here, to recoup the 5 million PLS that was created to create the spare. So pretty much there's no more supply to be dumped on the market from that dev wallet. The only people that are selling off the price like this are the people that got in down here. Is this the value zone? We're still below the 78.6 level. So technically, yeah, this is still in value. Just to be clear, I got some more of my personal wallet. I got some no, here, kick just before this pump and then the dump. I got some here, and that is what I'm staking currently. Yeah, so that is Kekistan, the meme coin that I created. And its product, it's finished, right? You can't expect. Sorry about that. Eventually, I will figure out this software, but it's better than OBS because OBS makes your computer makes my computer scream. Okay, that was Kick. Let's quickly go through. Doge is a coin launched by the Trust Swap team. Let's put off the log scale. Below the 88.6 level, it's still downtrending, making new lows. So you can see it doesn't have this nice market structure that Kick has. Now, Kick has higher lows, right? And it's practically sitting. You can see if you put on the line chart, you can see small W's down here, larger W here forming, and it's about to break out. And it's a little bit higher. It's already above its 78.6 level. I actually want someone to just dump the price because I want to accumulate at this area here at the Wyckoff check. Yeah, so if one of you hold Kick, please dump it down for me so I can get some more down here. This is PayPay. This is the forked copy of the meme coin PayPay. I got some as it entered the reload zone. I should have been getting some more here, but I'm waiting for it to go a little bit lower. Maybe in this area down here, I'll buy some more PayPay. Very, very small percentages because, I mean, these guys from Ethereum that got their free copies would probably just sell it down every time like they did back here. But it's technically in value where we are right now. Poor pleb, just on, I mean, all of them look the same. This chart also looks a lot like the Pulsechain ecosystem. And then I have SHIB, the free copy here, RAT, BTC, Uniswap. So I've put up some of the PRC20 tokens just to take a look at them, because there is a lot of people in the ecosystem talking about bumping up these PRC20 tokens. I tweeted about Beats. I actually sacrificed for this. This is that anonymous exchange. They have a buy and burn function in there. It's a reflective token. So reflective tokens don't. That's a safe moon clone, right? But it is different, right? So some of the profits go from the exchange go to buy up the token. It has a 2% fee, which saves the Pulse X. I think that also goes to buy up the price and burn. Not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. I literally tweeted it at the top that this is not where I'm shilling it. It came down into the reload zone, didn't really give you you should have been sitting at your computer, but this is still a very good entry that I gave you guys. I wanted it to go a lot lower. You can see that I sold half of my coins at this level. We're slightly above it now. I don't care. I got my pulse. Not only did I get my pulse back, I was in a good profit, right? So, and that is how I trade. When I get a double, I'm getting back into pulse, right? Because pulse and Richard Hart ecosystem. I'll be selling another double up here, etc. If this wants to continue higher, I'll be selling more. And if it wants to come down, I will reload that position that I sold, just as long as I don't exceed over 5%. This is a beat. So we've looked at pretty much everything. I think we've covered all of the covered X, covered Pulse. Okay, so what I want to see us here do, just to close off this, we need to close above these previous highs here. We're pretty much testing it right now. Otherwise, we will have potential hidden bearish divergences, even on the 12-hour, right? Hidden bearish divergence. We need to get above this previous high up here. In fact, just the candle bodies, the wicks, don't matter. Are there any other coins that you guys want me to take a look at? Any meme coins? I'm going full degen. When I created my coin, what's his name? Richard Hart unfollowed me, obviously, because he doesn't want other people to see other coins. Oh yeah, Texan token. Yeah, so I'm going full degen. Like, I'm not holding back on any of the coins. Now, some of you who have followed me for a very long time, okay, cool. We will look at both of these for you, okay? Yeah, we'll know that I've traded thousands of shitcoins on centralized exchanges back in 2019, right? So I'm a shitcoiner connoisseur, right? So we're going back to the roots of what this channel was initially about. It doesn't mean I don't love Hex and Pulsechain. My vast majority of my position are in those assets, right? And I want to get more of them by trading shitcoins. But proper shitcoinery, we call it. Let's look at Texan for you. Do you want me to take a look at them on Ethereum or Pulsechain, or let's do the full analysis? So Texan on Ethereum, right? We can see RSI nice and oversold. Did we have bearish divergences here? Bullish divergences here? Might have been from back here already. 27, 78, 28. Yeah, so it is higher. So there was bullish divergences from all the way back here. Told you that there's something happening here. You can see RSI going higher, yet the price was going down wickedly, right? Do I think it would die? There's bullish divergences here. Let's look which is bullish, right? So this is the volume. A lot of the volume has left. I don't know what's the narrative there, because this was created to be for Ethereum, for Pulsechain, right? It's pretty much like a copy of X, but it was made for Ethereum. The 3-day, I mean, this looks good on the 3-day, right? The volume really hasn't left yet on the 3-day. The weekly, I mean, people trade shitcoins, so I don't think it's going to die. Like, there will always be people trading this, right? Not oversold on the weekly yet. We have now to look at price structure, price action. We have lost structure. Now, this is not the best thing that you want to see. Now, that is just you've made new lows, right? You've lost these lows back here, but that was the coin launch, right? So we are starting to create some higher lows down here, right? This is good. So that just tells you someone is defending the price down here. Liquidity, very low volume. I mean, if I really wanted some, I would probably put in a very small percentage in this coin here. Very, very small, maybe like 1%, maybe like 0.15% of my portfolio and leave it there. I mean, Texan on Ethereum, on Pulsechain, not much more liquidity. I mean, there's more liquidity on the Ethereum side. So this is starting to get a little bit risky here. Let's see the two Texan pairs. Texan. Let's see if there's such a pair. Okay, no Texan pair. This is the area where you should be interested if you like this coin. Right? Very low liquidity. And I can't tell you what's going to be happening here. Let's just quickly take a peek at Texan on Pulsechain. I'm pretty sure it looks like all of the other coins. I mean, the daily, still middle of the range. It can go a lot lower. There's not much that I can tell you on this chart. We're bouncing off where value is at, where I can see value is at, but it's not getting me excited at all. But I don't want to sound too bearish on it as well. In 2025, what is the best way to dollar cost average sell Richard R tokens? Was thinking of selling 20% every month for the year. I don't want to miss out the top. I'd probably, for myself, I would probably sell half of everything at the end of 2025. I'd go on a date, maybe the end of November, the start of December, and I'm just throwing things out there. I would sell half. 2025 November 31st, I'm going to sell half of my coins, and then if it doubles again after that point, each time it doubles after that, I'll take off another 50%. The most important thing is to have a plan, right? To know what your situation is and to know what you're going to be doing before the time. Maybe write it down, put it on your Google Calendar on the day you want to sell, etc., etc. Right? What's up, Pulse Lord? Guys, go subscribe to Pulse Lord's videos. Go watch his videos. He is the best charter reader in the ecosystem. Okay, you said fiat, right? Let's look at fiat for you quickly. I had it up here, right? Is it in shitcoins? I swear I had fiat up here. Okay. Let's look at fiat. Oh, you want me to take a look at more? Okay, I'll take a look at more for you as well. Fiat. Here we go. Fiat versus Pulse. Let's start at on the Ethereum pair. Huh. Oh, it's called eFiat. They actually named it eFiat. That was quite smart. Hmm. Delisted? Because I had that eFiat chart saved. We can look at the hedron pair. Ugh. This is frustrating because we're gonna have to look at it on the Pulsechain pair. 123k liquidity. It's not bad. Boom. Oof. What is going on here? It's at 30 cents. Yeah, no. I actually, yeah, I saw the I giggled at that. Yeah, I mean, this isn't even the log chart. This is version 2. So there's some of the pairs left. I know I sound a little bit confused, and I am. I'll just look into it a little bit further off stream, but yeah, time as well. More and time. Fiat had bullish divergences down here. Price going down, price going higher. Never really got oversold on the 4 hourly, but this is the new pair V2 as well. So we don't have all of the data which it traded on V1 first. Let's copy the contract address. So did they relaunch this? Because this has another name. Very weird. Nothing suspicious. It's just very. Let's see if we. Here's the V1 chart. So this will have all of the data. And this will look the same as all of the other charts, eh? Because the ecosystem's pretty much moving. Yeah. I mean, what can I tell you? We're in value. This is where value is at. Not really oversold, but the granny investor, she does not mind sitting underwater. She'll just slowly dabble down, not exceeding her limits, right? Her percentage limits. I like that Buck guy. He is very intelligent, and he's going to be giving us free money with an airdrop pretty soon. They actually wanted to do an interview with me back before they even launched, and I actually said no for some stupid reason. But I want to talk to the guy again because I want to know what coin I should hold to get exposure to his ecosystem. Yeah, so probably I'll reach out to them, to the Fiat team, and maybe we can talk because, yeah, we need to talk because these charts are confusing as well. I want to know where the eFiat chart is. But there's not much going on. Change the token address. Okay. Yeah, because this is a new contract that has been launched. This is not the free copy. Very strange. I'm pretty sure they would be able to clear up. So sorry about that. I mean, I can't really do crazy analysis on that because I would like to have seen the ratios as well. More token, Mr. Trevon James. Let's look at the Ethereum pair quickly. I mean, $300 trading very, very low. I mean, Kick has more trading volume than this. Making new lows. Someone is dumping on your head. We've almost filled this entire tail over here, and that is probably where it's going. It's going to go full this entire wick because someone sold it down here. Now let's look at more. It's best to actually just go down here and copy the contract address. Which will give you all of the pairs. So this is the free copy here. 10K liquidity. And let's see what's going on here. The price is the price the same? I should really just pay a bit more attention. The price looks is exactly the same. Now this chart looks a little bit better. This is the 4-hour chart. This is version 1, so it's all of the data. Someone is manipulating this chart. It's good market structure. It's just not where value is at. This has already left the station. I can't be interested here. I need to wait for these areas down here. It found support on the golden ratio and it's now heading upwards. If we look at the RSI, I mean, not oversold at all. Not oversold at all. Pretty high risky up here. I want this thing, if I was interested, to come down a lot. Only 10K liquidity. Ooh, scary. And yeah, that's all the significant pairs. And then you wanted me to look at time dividends, 96 here. I actually looked at this chart yesterday. This is most of the liquidity. 100K of the liquidity is here. A nice bottoming pattern that it did down there. I looked at it at the lows and it's now taken off. That's typical. Pull up the RSI to see how oversold we are. Yeah, we got not drastically oversold. It's like at 40, it could have gone a lot lower. I'd wait for this, pretty much all of these to get oversold. You can't really do a fib analysis on this because I'm pretty sure these lows and these lows are going to be broken, which would invalidate. Either way, I can't be interested up here. It's in the nosebleed section. I've missed this boat. If it is to sail, I've missed it, unfortunately. I haven't really looked into the fundamentals. I know it's KJ and I know it's a wallet and there's a buy and burn function, I think. I don't know if it's for this coin or for Hex or for Pulse. How about Doge and Paper on Pulse? So we quickly looked at Doge. So this is Doge. Very cheap, right? No structure yet. We're making new lows. I'm pretty sure the RSI won't print because, yeah, I mean, very, very low, right? We do have, is this bullish divergence? No. Okay. No bullish divs yet. RSI is low, right? We're in value. There's no divergences though, and we don't have market structure yet. Market structure is just higher lows, and I'm pretty sure BP already knows that. You can catch a falling knife if if you want to, or you can wait for the breakout level of the W. But this is where you should be interested. If this project has longevity, I think they have locked up their supply because I was actually following them to see what I can do for Kick. Yeah, so you can either catch a falling knife here, or you can wait for market structure, higher lows, and then a higher high to take the breakout. And then you wanted me to take a look at PayPay. Is this the PayPay from the Trust Wallet team, or just the free PayPay copy? Because the free PayPay copy is this one up here. I don't have their PayPay meme coin, but PayPay did pop off, did its retracement. People on the Pulsechain side got interested, and even B Roots and Nagabo shielded. It then pumped, but coming down again now. We are in value. The RSI, and maybe we can find the PayPay. Not really oversold, looking like all of the other coins on Pulsechain. I did get some at the 61.8. I want to get some more when it goes down, because the Crypto Weekly review guys, and who else was, you hear the whispers that people are, they want to pump this. This is probably, it's going to be hard to find. Okay. Okay, so it is that other one, the one with the 100K liquidity. This was airdropped to the Doge holders. This one. So this is the PayPay from the Trust Wallet guys and the Doge guys. Technically in value, right? Bouncing off the 786. RSI. It's nice liquidity, 120K liquidity. Very high. Almost at 60. Let's look at the shorter time frames. Never got oversold on the RSI. No bullish divergences. This wants to go lower. Probably we've got some structure back here. So half of the value which it is currently at. But the granny investor, I can't falter for getting some here for the long term, but she's going to have to sit on her hands and sit on that position and just let it go. Right. And the only way she can manage that is putting in very small percentages. Okay. Yeah, so this is, it looks a lot like the Doge one, and we can expect them to act similarly because it's the same people. So yeah, no structure yet. Falling knife, you can catch it, but expect it to be sitting on it and being underwater for a while. Did we have? We might have divergences on shorter time frames. Yeah, so divergences on the hourly. So a little bit of a relief bounce, definitely, and it's playing out now. It's probably already played out. And yeah, we will keep an eye on this one. We'll add it to the watch list. And with that being said, I do think it's been an hour and 20 minutes. The first few minutes was silent. But anything else? I'll give you guys a few minutes. And I think we've pretty much we've covered everything pretty good. If PLS stays above the sack, how far you think it goes until it dips again? Okay. What you can look out for is there's already these divergences starting to form, but it looks like it wants to go higher, right? You can pull your fib from the top to our bottom, which was over here. Now this is the reload zone in reverse. This is where the professionals will be taking some profits and shorting the market. But what you need a few things for a trade to be confirmed, at least three reasons. Now, location is one reason, right? Then you might want to see the RSI on, let's say, the 8 hourly. I mean, even the 4 hourly, because I called it top on the 4 hourly when I saw divergences, it went higher. You might see location, price come in here, create lower highs, which is an M. That is structure. So there's two reasons. And then you might want indicator confirmation. So you might make a higher high here, some divergences maybe up here. Price going higher, yet the RSI is going lower, something like that. But I'll keep you guys posted. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe so you get notified, and hit the bell button for future videos. I'll try to keep everyone up to date when I think this bounce has played out. Yeah, some people look at the 50% range. Yeah, but look at the RSI and wait for these on the 8-hour and maybe 4-hour to get oversold. Yeah, and we probably might not even be breaking these areas up here, right? So if the RSI is up here, but the price action is still below the blue line, that will be time to take some profits. Not financial advice. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers for now, and bye-bye.